Apgar Amphitheater is one of the most popular ceremony spots in Glacier National Park. It makes total sense. It's gorgeous, it can accommodate a larger group size, and it's right on Lake McDonald, one of the most famous lakes in America. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly where Apgar Amphitheater is, why it works for a small wedding, the permit process, the best time of year, and my biggest tips so that you can ease through the planning process. Also, I'm Shayna. I'm a Glacier National Park photographer and videographer for adventurous and laid-back couples. I shoot at Apgar Amphitheater a lot, so I have all the best tips for you. Here we go. Apgar Amphitheater is one of the most practical ceremony spots in Glacier, especially if you have a bigger group or guests who need easy seating and accessibility. The actual amphitheater isn't the most beautiful backdrop in the park, and most of my couples tell me that straight up when I send it to them, but the convenience is hard to beat. The best part is how close it is to the shoreline of Lake McDonald, so you can hold the official ceremony in the amphitheater, keep everyone comfortable, especially if you have older guests. You can then walk a few steps to the lake for portraits. Or you can reserve the amphitheater for the permit and just use the shoreline for the ceremony itself. As a story-driven photographer and videographer with a vlog meets indie film style, this combo works well because you get structure and scenery without overthinking it. Apgar is simple, accessible, and perfect for couples who want Glacier without a logistics headache. So where is Apgar Amphitheater? Apgar Amphitheater is on the west side of Glacier National Park, right near the West Glacier entrance. It's basically in the park's front yard, close to Apgar Village and Lake McDonald, which makes it one of the easiest ceremony sites for guests to navigate. There's no hiking required and no long drive deep into the park, so it's a solid option for couples with family coming along or anyone who wants the Glacier vibe without complicated logistics. If you're wanting to elope in Apgar Amphitheater, you're going to want to fly into Glacier National Park. If you want to get married at Apgar Amphitheater, you're going to want to fly to Glacier Park International Airport. But I have had couples choose Missoula or Spokane. When it comes to driving to Apgar Amphitheater, it's one of the easiest ceremony sites in the park to drive to because it's right by the West Glacier entrance. From West Glacier, enter the park through the West Entrance Station. Once you're through the gate, stay on the main road toward Apgar Village and Lake McDonald. Apgar Amphitheater is in the Apgar area and it's well marked once you're close. Why you should get married at Apgar Amphitheater. Apgar Amphitheater is one of the best ceremony sites in Glacier National Park for couples who want the park experience without complicated logistics. It's right near the West Glacier entrance, so guests can actually find it. The drive is simple and you don't have to plan your entire day around going to the Sunroad. It's also close to West Glacier, Columbia Falls, Whitefish, and Kalispell, so it makes lodging and travel pretty easy. It's also one of the best Glacier ceremony sites if you want to invite more people. The amphitheaters in the park allow for the highest guest counts compared to most other ceremony locations, so it's a solid option for couples who want a real wedding day with their family and friends, and not just a two-person elopement. Scenery-wise, Apgar gives you the classic Lake McDonald area. Water, mountains, tall pines, and the iconic glacier look. It's not the high alpine backdrop you get near Logan Pass, but it's still stunning and it photographs beautifully. And straight up, I'll take you up going to the Sun Road with just the two of you, and you can have your ceremony down at Lake McDonald with your family. After your ceremony, you walk straight to the shoreline for portraits without getting in the car and driving anywhere. Frequently asked questions about getting married at Apgar Amphitheater. Can you get married at Apgar Amphitheater in Glacier National Park? Yes, Apgar Amphitheater is an approved Glacier National Park wedding ceremony location. You will need a special use permit to get married here. I cover permits more later. Do you need a permit to get married at Apgar Amphitheater? Yes, all weddings and elopements inside Glacier require a special use permit, even if it's just the two of you. How many guests can you have at Apgar Amphitheater? Apgar Amphitheater is one of the best options in Glacier if you have a higher guest count. Amphitheater ceremony sites allow more guests than most other locations in the park. The park sets the exact number, so check the current guest limit when you apply. Are dogs allowed at Apgar Amphitheater? No, dogs are not allowed at ceremony sites or on trails in Glacier National Park. They can only be in parking lots, campgrounds, and inside vehicles. Is Apgar Amphitheater easy to access? Yes, it is one of the most accessible ceremony locations in Glacier. It is close to the West Glacier entrance, it has minimal walking, and is guest friendly. How crowded is Apgar Amphitheater? Apgar is a busy area in the summer because it is near the entrance and close to Lake McDonald. The amphitheater itself feels more tucked away than Apgar Village, but midday can still be busy. Sunrise and evening ceremonies are the best way to avoid crowds. Where do you take photos after a ceremony at Apgar Amphitheater? Right behind the amphitheater. The Lake McDonald shoreline is an easy walk, and it's one of the prettiest portrait spots on the west side of the park. Are there bears near Apgar Amphitheater? Yes, Glacier is bear country, including the Lake McDonald area. Let's talk about permits for your Apgar Amphitheater wedding. All right, let's chat about putting in your permit for your Glacier National Park wedding. Now, I always send this link to the nps.gov wedding permit page when my couples are ready to put in for their permit. All the instructions you need are on this page, and it's actually super straightforward, so I'll just go over them really quickly. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. But you do need a permit regardless of the size of your wedding. That's always a big question that I get. And it's nice to have a wedding permit anyway, because with the vehicle registration system, this acts as your vehicle registration to get into the park. So on this page, you'll be able to download a special use permit application. It downloads as a doc file, which you can just upload to your Google Drive if you have that. And it is a really, really easy form to fill out, but there's a couple things to notice here. And it says it on this page too, you have to provide the exact location and times that you're wanting. You can't just say something general and make the poor permit office have to tell you what's available. And this is also part of our process when you go with us for photo video, is that we will talk through your wedding logistics and give you advice on the best time and location to put in for. On this application, you will be able to put in your first choice and your second choice, and I always give you an alternative time slot to put in as well. Now, I mentioned you have to put in your specific location, and when you go with me, I will help you pick out those locations based off of your terrain goals for the day and what makes most sense geographically. Like if you have other plans, then we have to keep those in mind with where you get married to, and I'll help you with all of that. But you can also go to this wedding locations page, which will be linked, and you can see what all of these places are called and how many participants you're allowed to have at each location. For equipment, go ahead and just put camera equipment, and then you'll see here there's instructions about how many vehicles you're allotted for all of the participants that you're putting in for. Once your permit is filled out, you'll email the completed application. They prefer a PDF format, so just save it as a PDF to this email listed here. You're also going to want to put in your non-refundable application fee. It is $125 at the time of this recording to apply to get married in Glacier National Park, and you can pay it really easily by just going to pay.gov. Make sure the name used on pay.gov matches the name on your application, just so that they can double check easily that you paid. You'll receive a confirmation email from pay.gov. Make sure you save that for your records. You don't need to forward it to the park. So your application and payment plan is in. Then they will reach out to you via phone or email. Once it's all locked in, and processing can take a few months, so literally please do not panic. The permit office will send you the preliminary permit to review and sign. Your permit is valid as soon as you've signed it. Just be really, really patient with the park employees. They work their asses off doing this. Finally, you'll get a copy of the permit signed by the permit office official, and that'll be in your email. It is very smart to have a printed copy, at least have a screenshot of that final copy to present to any rangers while you're in the park. Okay, super easy, I promise. Now let's talk about how to get your Montana marriage license. Okay, when you get married in Glacier National Park, you're going to want to go to the Flathead County Courthouse in Kalispell for your marriage license. The first step of getting this done is filling out this marriage application on the Flathead County Courthouse website. They're processed every business day from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They still have this COVID notice on here. There honestly aren't a ton of hoops or rules when it comes to getting married in Montana. You need to provide your proof of age, like a driver's license or birth certificate. You have to be single. You will appear before the clerk of court to sign the application, and it'll be printed upon your arrival. After signing the application, you will pay $53. So all you have to do is click here, start your online marriage application, and you will fill this out. It's super fast, I promise. And then once this is all done, the next step is to just go to the courthouse, and they are super great there. They'll ask if you want to take the marriage license with you or if you want to file it right then. If you take it with you, just make sure if you have an officiant, clarify who's going to be turning that in for processing. And if you don't, remember that you remember to turn that marriage license back in. The best time of year to get married at Apgar Amphitheater. Apgar is great because it's accessible year-round. May and June can be chilly and rainy, with fog off the lake and cooler temps in the mornings and evenings. July and August are the warmest and easiest for guests, but afternoon storms can happen, and wildfire smoke. September is a favorite. It's cooler, calmer, and usually clearer. October through April brings winter conditions, but Apgar is open. Where to stay near Apgar Amphitheater. Most of my couples stay near the west entrance of Going to the Sun Road because it puts you close to the ceremony spot. So when you are searching for an Airbnb, a VRBO, or hotel, look in West Glacier, Columbia Falls, or Whitefish. Meet your Apgar Amphitheater elopement photographer and videographer. If you're getting married at Apgar Amphitheater, it is a solid choice. It's close to the West Glacier entrance, guest-friendly, and the Lake McDonald shoreline is right behind the amphitheater, so portraits are stupid easy. I'm Shayna Lloyd, a Glacier National Park elopement photographer and videographer based in Northwest Montana. My style is earthy and campy, vlog meets indie film. I'll direct you enough to make you look incredible, keep things moving, and capture your day with photos, plus a film that includes movement, sound, and the real energy of what happened. I offer full-day wedding photography and videography in Apgar. That means you get the full story documented, not just the ceremony. Getting ready, guest experience, ceremony, family photos, portraits on the shoreline and around Glacier, anything fun you have planned. Travel is included for Glacier National Park locations like Apgar, and I will help you build a timeline that accounts for park entry, parking, and crowd timing so the day runs smoothly. Apgar Amphitheater is one of the best wedding ceremony sites in Glacier National Park for couples who want a guest-friendly location, higher guest count, and simple access on the west side of the park. It's easy to get to, easy for guests to navigate, and the Lake McDonald shoreline behind it makes portraits ridiculously good with almost zero extra effort. I can't wait to hear from you and to get to planning. All right, if you want the full guide, then make sure you check out the description below. And if you're planning a Glacier National Park wedding or elopement, then I'm the girl you need. I shoot photo and video in my signature vlog meets indie film style. So make sure you fill out the inquiry form so that we can chat all about your wedding. I can't wait to chat with you soon.